All right, guys. So we're currently on another session about using the machine. And today we're talking about bass. All right. Bass is going to be one of the most important things that you need to know about. So that's what we're going over is bass on today. So there's two bass instruments that I want you guys to be able to focus on. The first one being the 808. Okay. So when you are on the machine, and let's say you decide to pick out a group of sounds, you have your sounds there, right? If you hit pad mode after you've picked out your group of sounds, then once you hit pad mode, you can see everything on the second screen as far as what's on the pads. They're color coordinated and everything with what's on the pads that are in front of you, right? So, with that being said, let's dive into erasing certain pads whenever you happen to need to make room. So I usually put my bass on pad 16 because it's far away from everything. The first 8 pads are always drums. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right on pad 16. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to press the shift button and hold it. And then right above your record button, you're going to see erase. You're going to press that and hold it. And then you're going to press the pad we want to get rid of, which is pad 16. Done. Okay. Next step, press on pad 16, then go to your browser. Okay. Once you are in the browser, if this does not say sounds, then you need to push this button or this white button in order to get to sounds. So we're going to go backwards, get to sounds. All right. Now that we're there, the 808 that we're going to use is called the sour 808. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in on our software, we're going to type in sour. And then using our hardware, remember software is when you're using the mouse, hardware is when you're using the actual machine. So on our hardware, we're going to use our 4D knob. We're going to push down on the sour 808. Okay. Now that we've gotten that done, the next thing that we want to do is you want to press the browser button to get to this screen. Okay. Now on this specific screen that we have here, you're going to see sub for this particular knob here. Then you're going to see tune. This is what we are worried about. Okay, sub and tune. So if you're using your hardware and you go over to this mixer knob right here, where my mouse is, click on this guy, you will see this drum synth kick. Okay, this allows you to create different drums. All right, this is the actual mechanism that is playing your drum. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the key because the 808 is a drum, but it's a pitched drum. Okay. And we start and live by the main root note being C. Okay. Your root note has to be C. So right now on the screen, it says my root note is G, G1 to be exact. What we're going to do is using this second knob over here, this second knob, we're going to turn it until we get to 36 because 36 happens to be C. Now, granted, I have it sitting at like 36.02. If I hold my shift button on my hardware and I keep turning that knob, I can get to 36.00. And that's where I want to be. Okay. Once again, shift button and then turn until you get to 36.00. Once I am there, I am currently in C. Okay. C is where I am. C is where I live. And one of the things that you must know about the 808 kick drum is that whenever you press it, there is a bit of punch to it. Okay. 808s have a little bit of punchiness to them. So I'm going to go into keyboard, which is right above pad 14. And right now it's showing that I am in E minor. Let me show you how I got there. So currently right now, when you first get into your machine, this second knob, whenever you hit keyboard, this second knob right here usually says Chrome, okay? We're gonna turn that bad boy until it says minor, and then this one right here happens to be an E minor, so I wanna make sure I can change that. And here's how you change it. This first white button on your right screen is the octave down button. So, okay, so you can go down an octave, which is basically down a set of notes, or you can go up the octave, okay? So right now it says E3 in this box. I'm going to change it. Now it says E2 by going down. I can go up, change it to E4, okay? These are all different E's. So this E is here. If I press the octave down, now I'm there. If I press 2 octaves up, I'm there, okay? That's all that is. Now the semitone button is different. Remember, semitones is moving to the next available key that you can actually press, the next available note. So I can go down to E flat, I can go down to D, I can go down to C sharp, I can go down to C, I can go up to F sharp, I can go up to G. So using the semitone up button. So semitone up, semitone down. All right, so right now we're gonna live in C, just for fun. Okay, we're gonna live in C for now. That is how you change to different keys, all right? Now let's get back into the bass for the 808. Right here on the screen, you see decay. That is basically letting you know how long that 808 is gonna play until it stops playing. So right now the decay is up high, it's very long. So when you press it, when you press on the actual keys here, it plays for a while. Plays for a nice long while, okay? Now over here, if I was to go into the decay, and if I click and drag it down, now it doesn't play as long. Okay, it doesn't play as long. If I were to bring it all the way down, it would just sound like a regular kick. But if I bring this all the way back up, we're back to being elongated for a very long time. So your decay lets you know exactly how long it's gonna play. So if you're doing something like a Lil Wayne, a Millie, or something like that, then yeah, you need a long decay. But if you're doing like a Megan Thee Stallion or something by the Baby, Lil Baby, those guys, they usually have a shorter 808 that they usually work with, okay? So that is 808s in a nutshell, okay? There are certain things you can change about it. Like if you want to change the color, you know, you want to bring this up and changes the color a little bit. You can see how much you want that to change. You can really, really manipulate this whole thing. All right. Now, when you are playing any type of bass instrument, 808s, you mainly want to focus on the 1 chord, the 5 chord, 4 chord, 8 chord. Okay, which basically 8 is nothing but the octave up from 1. So if I'm using this right here, I'll most likely play this 5, this 4, and this 8. It's probably what I normally end up playing. And everything in between just kind of falls in between. Okay, so notice that if you're looking at this second box up here, some of these boxes are highlighted a little bit brighter than others. Those are your octave of the same exact note. So this note is C, that note is C, that note is also C. They're just in different octaves. In between the octaves, you have the actual correct notes that goes between those. Okay, that's how that works, right? Now, once again, the key to 808s and bass lines is that when you're playing them, you're usually using the 1, the 5, the 8, or the 4. Usually is what you're playing most of the time. You might fill in a few things here and there, but that's normally what you're playing. All right. Remember, 808s are long or they can be short, but if they are long and you needed to play a little bit longer, you reiterate by playing the same note again. So you had something that you want to make sure this stays a little bit longer, then you hit it again. Okay. So let's say we were recording right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So notice, to make sure that the line goes a little bit longer, to make sure the line is pretty fluid, I hit the same key several times, same exact patch several times. That is what you need to be able to do in order to get your 808s or your bass to go as long and as far as you need them to in the midst of the song, right? This is very, very necessary for you to be able to get this done. Now, let's go ahead and have a quick conversation. Make sure my stuff hasn't tried to stop on me. Okay, cool. Now, let's also make sure that we take a look at the other side of bass. We're going to use a synth bass, all right? And the way we're going to do that is, once again, we're going to go to the browser, and we're going to go into our software, and we're going to type in ADR, which is the first portions of Adrenaline, which is the synth bass that I like for you guys to use. Adrenaline has a lot to go with it. So when you click on Adrenaline, notice this has changed. This is different. We do not need to do anything as far as tuning for Adrenaline because it's automatically set to C. Automatically, it's already there. So one of the things that I like about using Adrenaline, and let me go ahead and kill off all of this right here. One thing I like about using Adrenaline is it gives me all that bass heavy bottom that you want to have, and you can sustain it a little bit longer than you can with an 808. So if you have something that's very flowing, something very R&B, or something that doesn't require that you have a kick underneath it the whole time, that is what you want to use a synth bass for. So when you press on a synth bass, the longer you hold it, the longer the note runs. This is very simple. And you can move in different areas. So same rules apply as far as using it, except you don't have to repress the pads. If you want it to go, you can just hold it where it is and then move to the next one, wherever you want to go. So it is very, very easy, self-explanatory. At times, the way that you use the bass instruments when it comes to synth bass, right? This is what we've been wanting to get done and taken care of. We've been doing this in class so far. Use this Ed puzzle that I'm going to have for this video to get your skills sharp enough, at least in the beginning stages, so that you can start recreating the songs that you have chosen to recreate in class. And that is bass for the most part. All right. So make sure you are paying attention and make sure you have caught all this information, because this will be my second time letting you know exactly what I want when you're in my class. You guys have a good one.